can try and win championships, and that's what it's all about. When you look from the outside and you watch this team, I know we're going to have a real good, solid hockey team this year.
Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host here, Eric Wilson. And the New York Rangers are 2-0, coming off of a big, dominant win over the Minnesota Wild. A huge breakout game from the kid line, a stellar performance from Artemi Panarin. It was a great game by the New York Rangers. Again, starting off the season 2-0. We're super pumped. We're going to dive into it, give the recap, our analysis on the game, and a preview of the next game as well. But before we dive into all of this today, Eric, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm not going to lie, not the best. I'm tired. My head hurts. I got a little too active last night after the win. We had to celebrate, found one of the brothers asleep in the shower. Interesting night. But, you know, when your team puts up 7 goals on a phenomenal team like Minnesota, got a party-arty.
Yep, calls for celebration. We definitely had to have a big celebration last night after a 7-3 win over the Wild. Again, Panarin with 1 goal and 3 assists. Vincent Trocheck scoring his first goal with the New York Rangers. 1 goal, 1 assist from him. Lafreniere, 2 assists. Kakko with 1 stellar goal. Hedl with another great goal. Fox with 1 goal and 1 assist. Miller with 1 assist. The Rangers were 50% on the faceoffs. Igor Shesterkin, 33 saves on 36 shots, 9.917 save percentage. Again, stellar performances across the board. All of those guys that I just mentioned had amazing performances last night to propel the Rangers to victory.
And one thing I left out on those notes, Barclay Goodrow also had another assist to add on to his point total, because I know he picked up a couple in game 1. I just chose not to write that down because I'm still upset with him for taking as many penalties as he did in game 1.
Yeah, and I also got to say, I think Panarin had a couple secondary assists as well. I know he had 3 primary assists, but he also was just facilitating at an extremely high rate and putting his team in position to put some points up. So Artemi Panarin with the real standout performance here. But the main thing that we want to harp on today is the kids, the former kid line that's now been split up into 3 different lines. We saw all of them contribute points in last night's game, despite not playing on the same line together. So kind of want to dive into that. And Eric, what is your take on Kaapo Kakko's performance through 2 games? I think he's looked really good. Looks like he's ready for that breakout season that we projected. But what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, he's played phenomenal. In game 1, you know, we were saying he didn't put up, I don't even remember if he got any points, but he looked really strong with the puck. He was skating with confidence. He came very close to scoring a couple of times. And I'm pretty sure I said in our game 1 recap, he's right there. He's right there about to start scoring these points. And what we saw last night was that the goal that he scored, it was beautiful. Skating around 4 different Minnesota players and then just tucking it 5-hole on a world star goalie like Marc-Andre Fleury. That's raw talent right there. And I'm expecting more of that as the season progresses.
Yeah, I think this is just a great start to the season for Kaapo Kakko. Everything that you said, I completely agree with. And I think that, you know, as we progress throughout the season and we hope to get the most out of the kids from the former kid line, I think Kaapo Kakko is the guy who could really stand out. He's gotten some first-line playing time, and he looks really good. He is very impressive so far. And I think that this could be that breakout season for him. You know, kind of a shaky ending to last season, healthy scratch in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But he did say over the summer, and we did a video talking about him, that was going to light a fire underneath him. That was only going to make him play with a chip on his shoulder and motivate him to be better. And so far, it looks like that's exactly what happened. So it's very exciting to see Kaapo Kakko really starting to have that breakout. But I also want to talk about Alexis Lafreniere. What are your thoughts on him, his performance through 2 games, and particularly last night with 2 assists?
Yeah, I mean, he's done everything we've wanted him to. You know, he's more of a playmaker type of player where he's not really going for the goals. He's mainly going for the passes to set up the goals. And, you know, this is kind of like seeing him play on the second line is kind of like the silver lining that comes with Vitaly Kravtsov's injury. And with him being off the roster, Lafreniere has gotten the opportunity to play on the second line with Trocheck and Panarin, and they've been successful. As you saw, Panarin had a 4-point night, Trocheck a 2-point night, and Lafreniere a 2-point night. That's a very good second line right there, doing as of last night, almost better than the first line played, besides Kakko and Kreider really putting up those points. So hopefully when Kravtsov does return from injury, Gerard Gallant will see something in that second line and hopefully keep them together and move Kravtsov down to the third as we've projected in the past. And I kind of want to see now at this point. I put my faith in Lafreniere a lot more than Kravtsov at this moment, but he's played very well, just like Kakko, looking very confident with the puck. You kind of developing, becoming more mature in their decision-making while on the ice, and it's very good to see.
Yeah, I mean, Vitaly Kravtsov, a little update on him. There really isn't an update just yet. I'm sure there will be one later today, but I think he's still just day-to-day with the upper body injury, so we'll see when he returns. But I agree with you. I'd rather give the second line playing time to Alexei Lafreniere. I think the Vitaly Kravtsov didn't look like, he didn't really play too much in game one. He got injured and sent out of the game pretty early on, but I like what Alexei Lafreniere is providing to the Rangers lines right now, and I think that it would be beneficial just to continue to develop him rather than trying to bank on Kravtsov, who just can't seem to get it together, whether it be his fault or, something completely unavoidable. He's just not – he can't get it together. So it's unfortunate for Kravtsov. Hopefully he returns soon enough and gets healthy, but I am excited to see how Alexei Lafreniere can continue to play on that second line. But let's talk about the other kid, Hedl. He had a goal last night. He's playing pretty well. What are your thoughts on him through 2 games, and what are your projections for him this season?
Yeah, he's not playing as stellar as the other 2 kids, but he's doing what he needs to do. We've talked about in the past with Zibanejad as our first-line center, and then Trocheck is number 2. Hedl is kind of stuck down there on the third line for the time being, so we're not going to see him get the ice time that the other kids are going to get throughout this season. But the fact that he's already starting to score goals means that he is going to have a productive season, hopefully, if he can keep that up. And that's really what we need. We're not going to see a huge breakout from him like Kakko and Lafreniere, hopefully, this season. But as long as he's productive, he does his job, he puts in a goal or an assist every once in a while, and I'm happy with his play. And from what I've seen, I'm more than satisfied. I think he's doing everything that the team needs him to do right now.
For sure. And I do want to touch on Igor Shesterkin. Igor Shesterkin coming off of a Vezina Trophy season. We think that he's probably going to be in the running, or actually, I think he's going to win it again.
He's got it again.
I think he's got it again. And he is still just he picked up where he left off. He's playing at a really high level again. 33 saves on 36 shots. Just another stellar performance. What are your thoughts on Igor Shesterkin through 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, letting in 3 goals might make people think like, oh, not a good game from Igor, but you got to consider the fact that he still had a very good save percentage at .917, I believe it was.
Yep.
And through 2 games, he's only let in a total of 4 goals for a 2-goal against average. That's like not bad at all. And again, like it is only 2 games, so it's a very small sample size. But he played great. The 3 goals that he let in last night, I can't really think that any of them were his fault. Boldy had 2 really beautiful goals. No goalie in the world is saving those. And, just that first shot by Zuccarello that beat him, that was just a perfectly placed slap shot. So, like, can't really blame Igor on any of those. You kind of just got to appreciate what he did. 33 saves on 36 shots is still really good. Facing 36 shots in a game is a big number. So he's played great. He's continuing to be that leader in the crease, and you can't ask for more from him.
Yeah, and I want to get your thoughts really quickly on the defense. We talked quite a bit about the kids and Panarin, Trocheck, we touched on him as well. The offense looked really solid. Of course, they put up 7 total goals, so we know that the offense is killing it. But some of the defensemen are actually getting involved in the offense. Again, Fox with 1 goal, 1 assist, Miller with an assist. What are your thoughts on the defense so far through these 2 games, in particular last night? How do you think they played?
It's been like better than usual, I would say. Last season we had a couple of really good defensemen like Fox, Linger, and Miller. And then, like the others were just subpar. But overall, I would say we're doing better this season. And, we talk about the kids a lot, especially in this episode. We do got some kids on the defense, like Fox and Miller are both only like 22 or 23. Like they're still young guys, and they're like our 2 best defensemen. Like you said, Miller put up an assist. That's a second for the season. Fox with a goal and an assist. We're going to keep seeing that. We talked a little bit about Fox in an episode like a week ago, about how these guys have the ability to take the puck up the ice and have scoring opportunities because they play with guys like Trouba and Lindgren, who are more defensive minded. So this is what we're going to keep seeing, a lot of offense from the guys who play on offense. And we're also going to see an increased offensive play from the defensemen as well, which is why we're able to put up 7 goals in a game like we just did. So it's been great. I have my issues with Jacob Trouba. I think he's a great leader on and off the ice, but every once in a while, he has one of those games where I'm like, I kind of don't like him. We might be paying him a little bit too much, but he's still good. I think overall, defenseman is like an A. They get an A, not an A plus though.
Not an A plus. But they're playing solid.
The offense gets an A.
Yeah, A plus on the offense.
Yeah.
I think the offense deserves an A plus. Defense is good, but probably a little bit of room for improvement. But really,
just an A.
New York Rangers look elite through 2 games. I mean, that is the
We're
moral of
on
the story
pace
here.
for 82 wins this season.
Technically, that is true. We are on pace for 82 wins, and Panarin is on pace for just an absurd season after a 4-point performance.
I'm going to do the number on the math on this while you do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been a joy to watch the New York Rangers through 2 games. The next game is, I believe, tonight, correct?
Yeah, we played against the Winnipeg Jets at 8, where Panarin continues the hunt for 328 points in a season.
Can't ask for much more than that, man. But yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps it up. Those are our thoughts on this game. And of course, we're going to cover the next game as well. Post-game recap tomorrow morning, covering this game against the Jets. So make sure to like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below what your thoughts were on this big win in the second game of the season, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got a ton of great content coming out covering the Rangers all season long, and ring the bell so you don't miss a video. We'll catch you all on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers, minus Vitaly Kravtsov.
He shoots. He's